Well, good evening and welcome to Porcupine Stand here on YouTube. Well, Asante Kotoko had to fall by 2-1 in the Democracy Cup, the first edition. Asante Kotoko Aji Kruano. Now you're going to talk about the things we observe and also do the ratings of the players in today's match. So let's start it from the lineup. Asante Kotoko showed 2-1 justice play penalty. Now when you Peter Amino Aqua scoring. Then you get Abrantia, your friend Asamoah Boateng also scoring for Hartlepool. Has lineup na Akwesin Ketia goalkeeper, Michael Ampedu Dennis Kosa, he was the captain. Ewa Mensa ene Abrantia, your friend Kelvin Osesibe. Number 6, Opon Afrane, Rafael Amponsah 8, and Martin Kakaribo number 10 position. Well, from the wings was Asamoah Boateng, na wenya Hamza Issa, na wenya Abrantia and Kasim Sisi. Well, Michael Ewa Mensa, ono nene Abrantia friend Kelvin Osesibe, a partner ewe Chiriho. Later, Yawa Mankwa Befimunina coming on to play for Hartlepool. On the part of Asante Kotoko, it was Frederick Asare, Emmanuel Kote, Abdul Hamid, Smart Al Hassan Mohammed. When you're Samba in Dongani with Justice Blake completing the back line. Well, number 6 was in team menu, Emmanuel Enchi Babayaya in the midfield 3. Peter Aminu Aqua, the goal scorer, the penalty winner, not when you're Brantia friend Bernard Somwa from the other side of the wings, and Elvis Chibafwa. Later in the game, Abdul Karim Abdul Rahman Ebeboy support to Asante Kotoko Brobe Bernard Somwa free. So I'm kind of game and 2-1. And let's go to the ratings and our key observations in the match. First major observation is the referee clearly and total control over the game. I understand probably the organizers are interested in doing something else, something that dance around woman empowerment and giving our female referees also an opportunity to handle the big matches. Yes, Oshe. Juliet Apia or Cheke Swatreman FA Cup now he had the chance to handle the game, but clearly the heat of the movement between Swatreman and Bofakwatano. Now Cheke Asante Kotoko against Hartlepool. You have to know say these are not the same. In this them referee be match you say when you 1-2 decisions wrong it creates a different form of pressure and the bar referee. So even the big referees, when given the chance to handle Hartlepool versus Asante Kotoko, issues at the end of the day. So it's just something. I think that the organizers wanted to try something different. Obeka say yes, yenya referees in many BD matches, no. Now at the end of the day, they've been critical decisions so many are wrong. But imagine if this was a competitive game. 3 points at stake to even decide a title. I'm sure say some of these things should be encouraged because the heat of the moment right here the referee and the best of games, especially line 1, no. They're not then fast no. He had some basic decisions wrong. I mean, in this case, referee but clearly realize that they are not up to this particular standard. So moving forward, it should be a gradual process. This is a Class A game and a big game, competition. So I feel just a humble advice, the referee appointment committee, in an attempt to empower the referees, should make sure moving forward, they will be very, very careful when it comes to some of these decisions. But all in all, I think we enjoyed a good game. But the referee could have been better than what we expected. The second observation. Samba Indongani O'Neill. Samba Indongani O'Neill. Well, Ghana on Thursday, Friday, in the first training with Asante Kotoko. Good. Saturday, we training Sunday and Monday. So 4 training sessions with Kotoko, and he was superb. Our game I share. And your ma share the videos On the field, he delivered it. We saw a goalkeeper that was good in the air. Sorry, we saw a centre back that was good in the air. Check ball now. Say yem pim ball no. Afa yem hiri panai. Yen clearly the perfect description for Samba in Dongani Uno is a hard tackling defender, extremely aggressive. He gets his timing right, good in the air, comfortable on the ball, and clearly the only thing I'll bet me I can say if obetumi a consistency ayɛ adwuma ɛwɔ ne mmɔdenbɔ no mu a Asante Kotoko enya a solid centre back. There were a lot of questions with regards to the fact that Oba Nansia na Oba started ahead of Obitse Henry Ansu. There were questions pa. But shed modern bona, you understand say when Gunhuenimas were training grounds and the decision by Asante Kotoko was the performance of Samba in Dongani or no. What massive and excellent first impression from the Congolese defender, and I think say was setting the stage per year for discussions around Asante Kotoko a centre back position. Wama a year the existing players of a moment 12 competition, and clearly he's trending for the good reasons. I see a Bonabaso. Well, moving forward, talking about Asante Kotoko here on Porcupine Stand with Selbert, the Asante Kotoko go I consider, I think Frederick Asare could have done a little bit better. It was checking the second attempt corner from a Samoa Boateng na sa ball a free kick na and a cross na. Utum say Fred didn't sub boom pa. Goalkeepers are supposed to establish control over their penalty yard because you have the ability to use different parts of your body as compared to the attackers. And yes, an attacker ni betimi. Attacker ni ntimi huri. Emfa nsem bomba goalkeeper no the chance to use your hand, every part of your body to make a save. On the goal Frederick Asare conceded, I think so or underestimate a year Asamoah Boateng. Forgetting that Asamoah Boateng is extremely good in the air. Say, checky players, some yard, omuti yard, pa, or yard, and one thing about Asamoah Boateng, say, apart from being good in the air, he is also good on the foot. And it's all underestimating na wama wonsa estifom, and that is what happened. And I think say Frederick Asare moving forward on one because I'm sure say when the technical team is discussion on said that was a moment when Timi unsave himself, when Timi unsave Asante. But away from that, around the 61st minute, I dare back ball Frederick Asare about so that free kick and we share how a free kick in the bar, baby. All in all, when you're a bad game, just that moment was not a moment with me making a good impression at the man. And let's see, say moving forward, he can continue and come back to it on some lessons. But as a captain, I think I was okay with the kind of performance of Frederick Asare. Well, let's talk about the new signings of Asante Kotoko. Let's start from Abranti Aka Samba Ndongani. Let's talk about Abranti and Esma Hamid Abdul Alhassan Mohammed, the left back. Well, solid performance from him, especially with his recovery as a player. Say Odropobe Chire Okone Nima, how he drops back. Clearly, Untmika said this is one of the toughest opponents to be when it comes to the Ghana Premier League because Heart to Folk did not play with a natural winger. What's the DNA at the point Hamza Issa? But we measure somebody with the tax our faces so far. And when you are talking about Abdul Hamid, Smart, Al Hassan, Mohammed, Ewa left hono Wama Eye Hamza Issa, Enya a smooth day. Ewa how one way or the other he managed to neutralize him. As Samoa Boateng about man the 12th time kakra. But for his tackling, I was okay with it. For his communication with other players, I was okay with it. He was not really bullied in the air. Say, I didn't see much of that happening. Game, and I think, crosses was not something I mean, who so much from him But this is his first game, and for the standard, if you are judging him by the words of Coach David Okulua, clearly he can improve, he can get better. But for a first game, he did not disappoint himself, and it will be difficult for him to give him any rating below a B. In Tiembo Abrante and Hamid Alhassan Mohammed a smart so abaso another new player our starting was Emmanuel Entry so starting game no Entry to some extent me and ne nneoma no the free kicks no onya some of the free kicks which okasa o ye free ye but clearly the accuracy behind his free kicks no was not as much as we've seen in typical Emmanuel Entry games. That will only be the side that eman a positive marks. But apart from that, his control in the game, his timing, his passes, his understanding of his positions, how drop it ever boy, big ball free defense, no, started the build up from Asante Kotoko, a breaking defensive line, his defense splitting passes, and his usual antics on the field there. Oh, Simon Upper, that was also an excellent performance from Emmanuel Entry. Me see the only negative. The free kicks, no, I want to be behind me and film ambassador. But for his passes, his chemistry with his midfielders and even the defenders. So we check how I know the Baba Ayabo, or share how I now on a intimate menu, how I connected with Peter Amidu, what the first goal, the pass now with him for boy, you can see that he has the vision, he has the footwork, he has the ability to, he's comfortable on the ball, and these are all positives from Emmanuel Entria. The other player, and also for Elvis Che for Awuche. Yes, Awuche, not so much of a crazy night for Awuche, but yemfa no kre enkasem but yemfa no kre enkasem how obobon you see maturity in the performance of Elvis Chebafo. Go and watch the second goal. Asante Kotoko share the pass or the man Peter Aminu Akwa. One thing about Chebafo is that he will be the kind of striker without the ball they will contribute something to the team. One signs of fatigue on the ball as a new player. Abeka will be a training when you be this is a competitive game and so ball against Michael Ewua now ball against Abrante Fen Sibea. You have to be smart. Now the mistake Sibea and he punished Sibea for that mistake. This is a striker. One chance he creates one major impact. Chance ne beda wa Esibe eko control ball na wantimi an control ni ye a o chema ball na efa ne na ase na. That is one. You talk about his pressing, you talk about his decision making, because some strikers would have been selfish, but he scanned the field to see Abrantia your friend Peter Aminu Akwa in position, and he will give him an incisive pass to the right player at the right time. And for me, for all the new players that started Asante Kotoko, I was impressed with their performance, and it will be very, very difficult for me to say me rated these players maybe any of them below 6. All the new players that started for Asante Kotoko, a performance, I'll rate you more. You are definitely going to give them 6 or more, and that is positive for Asante Kotoko. Now, let's talk about the physical presence of the game. Yaka the new players, Yaka Che, Yaka Entry, Yaka Smart, Yaka Abranti friend Indongani, Samba Indongani, Yaka Nasem. For Abdul Karim Abdul Rahman, Obemu Fufro came around the 80th minute or so you won't say much about him, but clearly you like his fighting spirit. Now let's go to other details. Kotoko na omuni an excellent bench, but the fighting spirit of the team was extremely impressive. How the Kotoko players, they were fighting in the game. One Shiabeka said they've been training for a very long time. The Kotoko team have not really trained that much. New players room, not much of a rich bench, but players that started the game, put up a wonderful performance, and how aggressive and determined Asante Kotoko team, boy, the energy level of the Asante Kotoko team was something impressive that you have to give credit to them. Well, let's talk about one major player in Peter Aminu Aqua. Well, my catch said, based on the projection of the technical team, they are expecting more from Peter Aminu Aqua this season in terms of his ability to finish the ball. Well, he had some chances, especially in the first half, but say otimi ebubo obi etotwene ana eya asem foforo ana ewo, which was not really much of a positive but moving forward or capitalize on that opportunity otimi ball no homoden, he had that chance in a ball no and the eto atrem wo ha na eyade enika. That chance was solid. You question the position of Hartlepool goalkeeper in Akwesin Ketia, but you can't take away the credit behind the accuracy and the shot from Abrantia, your friend Peter Aminu Aqua, scoring that brilliant goal to give Asante Kotoko the lead, moving the game from 1-1 to 2-1, and that was solid from Peter Aminu Aqua. One thing I may refer here, one talking about Abdul Karim Abdul Rahman, same as Elvis Chebafo, had to do with how those two players were pressing the Hartlepool defense. If you realize that the Hartlepool defense were making mistakes, but you have to give credit to the off the ball defensive contribution from these attacking forwards of Asante Kotoko. They were fighters in the game, and they were ready to pounce on every mistake Hartlepool team no ebeye. Into so check Abdul Karim Abdul Rahman around the 90th minute one how oppress Michael Ewa ema Ewa ko so ni mu a referee eventually ema Ewa yellow card Kotkonya a set piece free ho. That is something you have to give credit to the attacking players of Asante Kotoko for that fighting spirit of putting up all in the game. So that is something I said the two attackers of Asante Kotoko. But back to Peter Aminu Aqua, much is expected from him this season, and clearly he did not disappoint on the day. Excellent goal. And Peter Aminu Aqua etimi ebose ewo ha na eyadia na enika edema Asante Kotoko the lead from 1-1 to 2-1. So good game from him. Now let's talk about Bernard Somwa, and I will tell you that Somwa also did not disappoint. He still lacked a bit of finishing kakra, akane kakra there, but all in all, he put up a top performance. Paoshe Kotoko Nkwalayi na yema Peter Aminu Aqua, Bernard Somwa. If you are playing against a player like Michael Ampedu, na se wan nku animasia wa born humodin. So solid game from Asante Kotoko to pick this 2-1 win over Hartlepool. Clearly proud to the game. Now me make us say I was not expecting them to win this game, but so better has I said it 3 times within a season there. Now idea I say you bought a year Asante Kotoko team no you bought my basopa. Now let's talk a bit about the opponent, then I'll come and wrap it up at Asante Kotoko. Asamoah Boateng did well, but elsewhere Michael Ewa Mensah, not the best of game from him. Who shared the penalty he caused. Yes, we can make issues about refereeing and all other factors, but he caused a penalty on that moment, which was not the best. How man, Peter Aminu Aqua, a dummy, the 9 fast, so a BT, a kind of Vinicius, any Abrantia, your friend, Fernandino, Star Nubi, and that was poor calculation from Michael Ewa. Uko shed on Abdul Karim Abdul Rahman na onusujaho ema okwa di yellow card. That was also not the best, but in all, you love how he controls the ball, how he turns, how he passes. That was decent, but clearly so you defender, not through you, a lead to a chance created, a lead to a goal against your opponent. Emma ratings echo from the other one is Kelvin Osesibe, and also with me born about super brave because on that occasion, on also koyem from so Emma had to full consider the same thing can be said about Kwesi Nketia because you question his position as a goalkeeper. Ebra Peter Aminu Akwa shot, no. What you expect is that the goalkeeper will mark the nearest pole closer to the ball or closer to where the ball is, not the far pole. The nearest pole closer to where the ball is, no. And when I expect goalkeeper so be mark it, but rather we saw a goalkeeper whose timing or position was so poor, giving Peter Aminu Akwa an opportunity to put the ball at the back of the net. For Dennis Kosa and Michael Ampedu, I was okay with them in terms of how they play, but as some more Boateng extra quality. Well, Coach Fred Abubakar Watara, because Kasim Sisse naturally say, Obono as your main striker, or from the wings, on Bobby. The best for him is to come from the bench. That is for Kasim Sisse. And so free in China ever. So I think say, after this game, the coach realized that playing Hamza Issa as a winger Obeye Kumase against Asante Kotoko. When he decided to play Hamza as a winger and play other players, in this case, Issa Koka as a center forward leading the attack and Asante Kotoko defenders need that level of freedom. And then Osabe the same thing, and a smart dealt so well with a brand here friend Hamza Issa. So I think that the coach moving forward, parading 3 strikers and none of them have to focus. And when they are ineffective, the Kotoko defense can rest and do the job. Well, I cannot talk about this game and fail to give credit to Andrews in team menu and also Babayaya, not forgetting a player like Kote. Decent game from all these players. Babayaya, the usual twist and turn. No a done and no a control, no a pass it, and no one on it in team here will see you. And we must say that in team is growing. Baby, you the first round in the Ghana Premier League, was out twice so one drop no. In today's game, he played very well, and you give him positive marks. His tackles, his interceptions, his passes. He was not giving out a lot of faulty passes. And I see about team numbers. Well, clearly it shows that Asante Kotoko were doing something wonderful at the training grounds as compared to Hatofo, because I expected Hatofo to get a win over Asante Kotoko, not the other way around. See about Bobo and Asante Kotoko mum with this squad. Even look at the options from the bench. You can clearly see that Kotoko nominate a solid bench. I mean, Joseph Abrabi, Drew and Ra, and then not bench. What you say? Osha bench wa Abdul Karim Abdurrahman and a Kante so by a Sai so by asa the kind of inspiration that you expect from the bench. Now Asante Kotoko NB, but I met me Kunim over hard to folk. Well, Kotoko Kobo DC United. So let's do the ratings. Frederick Asari gets a 6. Emmanuel Kote gets a 6.5. Justice Blaze scored, he gets a 7. Samba in Dongani or no gets a 7.5. Abdul Hamid Al Hassan Mohammed gets a 6.5. Intim Melu 6.5. Emmanuel Enchi gets a 6.5. Babaya gets a 7. Bernard Sumwa gets a 6.5. Now Wababinya Elvis Cheba for getting a 7. Wababinya Peter Aminu Aqua getting a 7.5. So the man of the match contenders from Asante Kotoko, Camp no Ebe Samba, Indongani O'Neill, Justice Blay, Emmanuel Enchi, Elvis Shea Bafo, and Peter Aminu Aqua. These will be players contenders for man of the match from Asante Kotoko camp. Baba ratings, yes, on see a uniform when we game, no. Sana umfa ratings but even if you are giving Baba a 7, you will not be wrong. So these are the players who possibly can be vying for the man of the match. But Samba in Dogani will not just display. Peter Aminu Aqua will be the final 3 for the man of the match. A year award from the camp of Asante Kotoko. Well, Kwasim Ketia gets the 5.5, I think, with the second goal he conceded Wambua had to folk. Wachina discussions around how to folk the need to sign a center forward. Sorry because of that decision. I'm telling you. Sorry. Michael Ampadu 6.5. Dennis scores at 6.5. Calvin Osesibe gets a 5. Now the same thing goes to Michael Ewamensa 5. Rafael Amponsa gets a 7. Upon Franny gets a 7. Wonderful game from Upon Franny together with Rafael Amponsa. I didn't see much of Martin Kakari. So Kakari Benya be 6. Now Asamoah Boateng 7. Cisse gets a 4.5. I mean, I think he was the flop of the match. Now Hamza Issa Enya 6. And that is my ratings for her to focus. So for Haas camp, I'm going Rafael Amponsa, any Abrantie Fen a year or Panfrane as contenders for the man of the match. So Democracy Cup Asante Kotoko etimi abonamodi akudi nkunim over Heart to Folk by 2 goals to 1 at the Crash Sports Stadium. Credit to coach David Oklu. At least in some of I said the new players are upgrade and to some extent they can be considered better than old ones, you know. I think based on what we observe today, now the right thing and an coach, you know, all can credit to Asante Kotoko. Better luck to Heart to Folk next time. Bye bye.